Hello and welcome back to this class. I'm Damien Saronkoma and I'll be still taking you through word processing. Today I want to look at file word processing, and particularly I want to look at how to edit a document using Microsoft Word 2007. Like we said last time, you click at the start button at the bottom left corner of your window, of your desktop. Click at the start button. If you're using Windows 7, you'll see all programs around this area. Click at it and you'll be able to scroll down using the scroller, mouse scroller. Scroll down until you locate Microsoft Office. Click at it and then scroll down still and locate Microsoft Office Word 2007. Excuse me. Click at Microsoft Word Office Word 2007 and it should be able to launch on your computer screen. Once it launches, we shall interact with an interface, and this interface we are going to start doing the typing. Our insertion cursor is waiting for us to start typing, so we shall start typing some of the text. We shall start with a simple paragraph that will help us to get started. So let's take this to be our sample text that we need to work with. You realize that in this text we have a number of errors here and there. Number of errors here and there, and they're highlighted. Sometimes we might have text that is highlighted with red, and then there is also text that is highlighted with green. Sometimes it might be green or it might be red. So text that is highlighted with green, normally it is grammatical errors that the system has detected. Then the text that is highlighted with red, those are spelling mistakes. So to easily get rid of the spelling mistakes, there are different options that you can take to get rid of the spelling mistakes. One of them is use of mouse. You simply need to right click at the text, like processing, right point there, move your cursor on top of the word and press the right mouse button. Then in the list that will pop up, you realize that these are suggestions that you possibly meant to select or to type. So read through the text and make a proper selection of what you intended to select or to type. So the text must be reading like, to get started with processing. So processing was the right word. Select it, click at it using the left mouse button, and the word will get corrected. Same applies to the next. Okay, but if there is a word that you intended to write other than the one that you typed, it is best that you select it there. However, I'm undoing. I'm clicking the undo button to take me one step backwards. Okay, the redo button takes me one step forward. Then undo. Alternatively, the undo button, you press Control key, hold it down, and then press letter Z, shortcut key combination for undoing. Undo is CTRL. Okay, it is CTRL plus letter Z. That is for undo, and then for redo, it is this is redo. Okay, the redo is it is CTRL plus letter Y. Okay, this is redo shortcut, and then this is undo shortcut. Alright, so now that we know how to use the mouse to select or correct mistakes in our documents, let us learn how to use a keyboard. So to use a keyboard, you simply press the button that has F7. Look on your keyboard at the main section of the keyboard. There are characters on top. Those characters, they have F1, F2, F3, F4, F5, F6. Also, you'll need to select F7. Press F7 once, and the document will start. It will activate the spelling and grammar checking function. This dialog box helps you to select the word. It will go through the text, and it will locate the word that has a wrong spelling, and then in the suggestions, please scroll through and locate the word that you intended to type. If it is not there, possibly you can skip for now. Or you simply type it. Let's try to type it there. To get started with Word, so the thing was Word. Okay, so after that you can possibly select change, or okay, it will go for another word. Okay, so this is processing. Processing is there, not processing, but we needed to select processing to get started with word processing. So select the word that you needed to write or to type and click change. However, sometimes you might have typed so many words with the same wrong spelling. What you need to do, select the right word and then select change all. Okay, once you use change all, it is going to go through the entire document, locating that word and then replacing it with the new suggestions that you have selected. So when you look at this, we have word processing. You need to have to press. That is a lot of words used. You need to have to press the keyboard. Okay, so instead we don't even have suggestions, so it's best that you select the keyboard. Delete off what you don't need. Is using the the backspace key. Press the key somewhere, press the insertion cursor, and then delete out what you didn't want to type, and then go for the change, and then it will activate. It will go for other words. So those were supposed to be buttons. Select buttons and then click change. Then it locates Microsoft. Okay, this was supposed to be Microsoft. Select it and select change. Then it will help you. So select change. If there are very many words that you typed with that spelling, please click at change all. Okay, then you need to help you to have. Okay, select have and then select change. Need to have there. Okay, so that's the way we correct it. It will help you to have the entered word. So this was not supposed to be there. I'm just going to delete it off, and then you click change, so it will allocate another, the entered word. So this is supposed to be entered. If it's not there, then you need to possibly correct it there instantly. Entered word, so entered the computer. So we click next. Computer, this is supposed to be computer system. Okay, and thanks for being a part of thanks for being part of. Okay, not a part. So change, and then it will locate this. Sometimes it is possible for you to have entered or typed a name that is not known to the system, a name like an African name that is not known to the system, and you're sure of the step spelling. So sometimes you might need to add it to your dictionary, so that next time you type it the same, when you type the same word, it does not bring the same mistake or same highlighting that has been added on that text. So you better click change, okay, or add to dictionary. Then this was supposed to be Damien, and then but the spelling is weird, so all I need to do is to change the name. Okay, and there it is. So I click change, and tells me the spelling and grammar check is complete. Click OK, and then your text has been fully proofread. Let's go through it and realize that we still have mistakes here and there. Word processing, word Y. So I'm pressing my cursor to the right of the Y, so that means I'm going to delete the character that is on the left of the Y of my cursor. So I need to use the backspace key of your keyboard. Press the backspace key and the character will get deleted. I want to add these two paragraphs to become one paragraph, so I'll need to use full stop to end the first sentence, and then I'll possibly need to shift this line to be part of the first paragraph. So I need to delete the text, the characters on the right of where my insertion cursor is. So I don't need to use the backspace key, otherwise the backspace key will delete characters on the left. I need to use the delete key of my keyboard. So I press the delete key and it will delete characters on the right, bringing the text next to the previous sentence. However, this is a wrong punctuation, and the system, by all means, it will have to warn me after some time. It will tell me, please, this is a wrong punctuation. It will put a green wavy line because of the spacing that I have possibly there. Okay, so I need to correct that. This means there is wrong grammar, punctuation, or extra spaces. So all you need to do is right click and select the stop. Full stop is supposed to be immediately after the word. Okay, so that way you will be able to correct your statements. Then you also need to read through. It is always a good idea to read through to correct all grammar that the system might have missed out. Suppose someone wrote something like this. It was the system will not detect any errors. However, when you read through, it doesn't make sense. It was a food thing to think. You realize that F on your keyboard is located near G. I intended to write the word good, not food. So please read through the statement and locate your errors. It was a good thing to think. So this statement makes meaning, has meaning. But when you say it was a food thing, F is next to G, so you're more likely to press characters that are next to each other, and the system still finds the word correct because it is a word added to its dictionary. So please read through your statements and verify that you have the right meaning to what you intended to write or type. That is for spelling and grammar checking functions. However, you can also do other formattings. Okay, so let us now try to utilize what we call copy and paste, cut and paste. These are functions that we normally use when we are doing editing, and they help us to move text around our document. So you can I'm going to move this word. So to highlight it, you left click and hold down the left mouse button. Don't release it. We are using the left mouse button, and then you move it to the right. It will highlight the word like we looked at in the previous sections. Alternatively, if you have chosen to select only one word, click and hold and move to enclose the words that you want to select. Alternatively, you can double click at the word to select it, or to double click or triple click at a paragraph. Selected entire paragraph, you only need to triple click. So I'm going to move this paragraph below the word it was a good thing to think. Alright, so I'm triple clicking to select the entire paragraph, and I will be able to copy. So to copy a word or text, right click and select copy. Click at it using the left mouse button, position where you want the text to be, right click and then select paste. So it will paste, it will make a duplicate. Whenever we use copy, it just makes a duplicate of the original. However, if we select the word and then right click and then we select cut, cutting displaces the word to a new location. Right click and select paste. The word that was there has been shifted to the new location. That is when you're using a shortcut key combination. How about use of the interface? Let's click at the home page, home tab. In the home tab, there are functions up there, and they will have the one of copy. I'm copying. Click highlight what you want to copy and then click copy. Select where you want it to go and then select paste. So realize that it will do the same thing just like we did using a shortcut menu. Same applies to the cut. This time I want to cut the entire paragraph, all these ones. So I click and hold left mouse button, then highlight what I want to be able to cut. So I'm going to cut it off, and then in the new location, and then paste. That way it helps us to move text around your document. However, you can also use the drag and drop. So I'm highlighting and then click and hold the word. Don't release the mouse, then move the mouse. Don't release the button. Move the mouse to where you want the text to be. Release. So it will be displaced from its original location to a new location. That method is what we call drag and drop. You highlight the text, click and hold it, don't release the mouse, and then drag it to a new location. Release. That way you would have moved the text from one location to another. How about when you use your keyboard? When I'm to use my keyboard, all I need to do is to position the cursor where I want it to be. You can use your arrows to move your navigation arrows on your keyboard to move to a text that you want to enclose or select. Then press the shift key on your keyboard hold it, the shift key on your keyboard, hold it, then press the arrow pointing to the right. Whenever you press this arrow, it keeps on selecting one word at a time. You can actually select using the arrow pointing down to select going downwards. Then I need to select up to this point, so left, I'm pointing to the right, up to that point, then release the shift key. Now I need to cut. Let us first use copy. To copy, I'm going to press the Control key on my keyboard and then press letter C. Press the Control key, hold it down, and then press letter C. Control C is a shortcut for copy. Then move your cursor, use the navigation arrows, move your navigation arrow to where you want the cursor, the text that you've just copied to be. This time press Control, hold it down. We want to paste, press Control, hold it down, and press letter V. Don't release the Control key. Press letter V to paste, then release the Control. That way you would have copied and pasted your text in a new location. Let us select the word that we want to cut this time. I'm going to cut the word "it was a good thing." So starting from that point, press the shift key and then press the arrow pointing to the right to select all that you need to be selected. Press Control X, we want to cut. Control, hold it down, press letter X. The text will have to disappear. Then I want to move to the right through the starting point of my document. There are keys that you need to know how to use them in a keyboard. The key, look for the key that has the word home. When you press the key that has the word home, it will move the cursor to the starting point, to the beginning of your paragraph, or to the beginning of your sentence or line. Then you press end. End moves the cursor to the end of the text. However, if I want to jump right from where my cursor is to the beginning point, to the real first word of the document, the top left corner of the document, that word to get started, alright? So I need to press the shift key, I need to press the Control key, and then press letter home, the character that has the word home. It will make the cursor jump to the last point to the real first point of my document. Then when I want the cursor to jump to the real last point, the real last word of my document, even if there are 1,000 pages, all I need to do is press Control key and then press the character that has the word end. It will take my cursor to the last point of my document. Now that you know how to use the the home and the end, then Control home, Control end. So I want to go to the real first point, Control home. Then I need to insert one space. Press the Enter key on your keyboard so that you reserve one space above. Move your arrow, top arrow, so that you get to that space that you've created, and then paste. Control V. We have looked at how to cut, paste, copy, paste. Let us look at the shortcut key combinations. We have cut. Let's use copy first. Copy, the shortcut key combination is CTRL plus letter C. Then cut, is CTRL plus letter V. oh, cut is X, and then paste is ctrl plus letter V. You need to know these shortcut key combinations. They will save you a lot of time, a lot of processing time. So now we know how to position this cut and paste, copy and paste. Let us learn how to use the line spacing buttons. So for line spacing, we want to adjust the length, the height, or the space between the two sentences. So all we need to do, you highlight the sentence or the paragraph, then click the home tab and then select the button, go under the button of paragraph because you want to play around with the paragraphs, and then the paragraphs, please select the button for line spacing, increase the line spacing according to the instructions or the need. So we shall click at 1.5. So realize that when I selected 1.5, the space between the two characters had to increase. Click at it again, select 2 this time. It keeps on increasing. Select 2.5, select 3. You can add more line spacing options. You can actually align it left, align right, or centered. Justified, centered. So in the preview we have the alignments there. How much do you want? The indentation means how much do you want the text to be pushed inwards from the right, from the left towards the right. Increase that. So realize that there we shall be able to see how much indentation we shall actually be using. How about the right? Increase it to the right and reduce it to the left. So it helps us to really center our document, our text right in the center of our page. Then we have the spacing. How much do you want the space between the word on top? How much do you want? And then you can increase how much space you want on top and how much space you want at the bottom. And then click OK. So realize that it has added text between those items that you've selected. Alternatively, all you need to do is to select the word again, and then you can actually remove the spacing after a paragraph. So that space, extra space that was there after a paragraph is reduced. You can actually remove the text before the paragraph. The space on top is also trimmed off. For more, you can actually do line spacing options, and then you work with zeros. Okay. Alternatively, you can actually work with only one, and you have the text of that nature. You can actually even use the functionality that we have already looked at. We have bold, you have italics, you have underlined, you have bold. Depends what you want to do. You can change the font size, font colors to what you need the system to operate with. Click and you can even add the background to this. So you click the fill color or the shading, the one that appears with the bucket, and then we shall possibly have that. Okay, you can highlight it again and then select the color to contrast with the green, white. Let's put a background a border around this text. So select the text that you want to be affected, then select borders. Shall put the border, puts a border around it. If you need more, click at that and select more. We can even have the doubled. Okay, let's select this horizontal line. Can have the horizontal line there. If not, can actually remove it. Let's undo to get rid of the line that we had put. Let's put a line at the bottom. Let's remove the rest of the lines. So no border, which removes the entire border, and then we just put one line at the bottom border. Okay, so it will just put one single line at the bottom of the text that we have indicated or highlighted to be affected. Alright, so now that we know how to do all that, let's see how to create titles. We looked at that still last time. We can select the font. I'm simply going through what I covered before so that you get used to the functionality of different operations or functions in our document. Okay, so I selected Arial black, and then I'm increasing the font sizes. Then you can work with the alignments, center, left, right, and then justified. Let's select centered, and then we can make it bold, then italic, and then underlined. Then you can also make these the bullets, can attach bullets there. So highlight what you want to be up or given a property of a bullet, select under the home tab still, under paragraphs, and then select your bullets. If you need particular bullets, select the bullets that you need to use, or you can actually remove the bullets and then select numbering. That way you would have created a numbered bulleted document that is you can actually even press, as long as you put your cursor at the end of the text and then press enter, another bullet will have to be created. Delete it alt if you don't want it. Alternatively, you can also actually delete out this extra space so that you have bulleted items next to each other. If you need more space between the paragraphs, highlight the text and then go for the line spacing. We want the spacing, some space after each paragraph, not before but after each paragraph. So after, how many pixels do you want? How many points do you want? After a paragraph, let's have that much space, and then click OK. So after paragraph, it increases the space. If you don't want the space there, you can actually do that, remove that, and then give it some space. Let's reduce this space again. More line spacing options, we reduce it. After reduce it to 0 and then click OK. So it reduces the space to 0. If not, you can actually put some space there for easy reading. So after, increase it to 6. Yep. So now that you have learned how to use all that, let's look at a different option of creating a document that has pictures. let us learn how to insert pictures to this document. All you need to do is to click where you want the picture to be inserted in a particular document, and then you can click at insert picture. You click at the insert tab, and then you insert picture. Click at the insert picture, and locate picture dialog box will pop up, or the insert picture dialog box. So in this, please look on the left side and locate where the pictures are supposed to be loaded from. So I'll select picture, and then hopefully that whoops, I don't have any picture there. So I'll select the downloads, and in downloads I'm supposed to see sample pictures loaded there. Locate the picture that you want to use, click at it, and then select insert. So that picture will get inserted to your document with it has holders in the sides that are meant to resize the picture. Click at the holders, hold down the left mouse button and move your mouse, then release. That way you will be resizing your picture. So sometimes it is possible for someone to resize the picture to that. It automatically will detect that it is more than the space that is provided there, so it will have to shift to the next page. So to be able to resize the picture properly, all you need to do, let me undo to the original picture. I said to click the insert tab and then select picture, then locate where the picture is. Click the getting mine from downloads, and then I select the picture that I need to use. Click OK or insert, and the picture will get inserted. You can actually resize the picture evenly. So what you do, you move your cursor to the corners, click and hold, and move your picture, move your mouse out, so that the size adjusts evenly, the length and the height, they adjust evenly. So what you need to do, this picture can have different formats, they can be given different properties. Let's look at the picture properties. So if you're not sure of what you're going to do, just double click at the picture and you realize that we have the picture format tools that will pop up. This picture can be given a border around it. You can insert a border, then we shall possibly select picture border. All you need to do, double click at it, and these picture styles, you will have the picture borders there. Click at the picture borders and then select which border weight do you need. Okay, so select the weight that you need. You can actually even select the color. Picture border, give it a color that you would wish it to have. Okay, let's adjust, let's zoom so that we have a clear view of what we're doing. Can even do more weights or more colors in case you do not see the color, the required color that you need to use. That way you'll be able to use the colors that you need. Okay, then you can also have the dashed. Okay, so which kind of borders do you need the picture to have? Please find the proper borders that you need to use and use them. Now we have the styles. These styles, they give a picture different look. Select that and give it a different look like that. You can have that. You can have that. Depends what you want the picture to look like. Oops. Okay, there it is. A little flipped. Alright, so those are the styles. Those are the styles. So let's look at the wrappings. Whenever you want to position this picture in a document, all you need to do, select the picture and then look for the arrangement and look for the position. That picture can appear at the top left corner of your document. Let me just okay, So it can appear at the top left. Position it. The picture, we are working with the picture position. Select it. You can position it to the right. You can position it in the middle of your document. Okay, and the text wraps around it. And then you can also put it at the bottom left corner. There it is. Let me just do that so you can see what's happening. Okay, so it takes different positions. Alright, that is when you're working with a picture position. How about the wrapping of the text? How do you want the text to behave in line with the picture that you've just inserted? So select the picture that you want to work with, and then this time I want to work out with the text. How does it behave? How does it wrap around the picture? Click at that and then look at, let's try different. Let's try this square, and let's try the tight. So for the tight, you can even adjust, move the picture differently, in different ways, and automatically the picture will force the text to wrap around it. You can put it in the middle of your document, and still it will evenly wrap around the picture. So that way you're sure that yes, I'll have my text readable, and still the picture will also be visible at the same time. You can actually have the picture behind the text, and the text is onto the picture, and then can also have in front of the text. That means it is sitting on top of the text. That means there is some text that is hidden behind the picture. You can have it on top and bottom. That means the text is split into two. So let's put a tight so that it wraps around the picture. Possibly have a picture, different picture format of that nature, or alternatively you can select any of your choice. It depends what you want the picture to appear like. Okay. This same picture can have different, you can decide to cut off the legs. Okay, can decide to cut off the legs. Let's select this, and we remove, possibly give it that format. Alright, so we can cut off the legs, and we can cut off some bits of some picture. So what the tool that we normally use is what we call a crop tool. The crop tool is going to enable us to cut off some things that we don't need in the picture. So click at the crop tool, and have these crop areas. I want to crop off that. So click and hold and move. And then click and hold, move. Click and hold, and then move. So that way it enables us to see the picture. We center down to where the story of the picture is. Okay, we might cut off the things that we don't need to be visible. Let's insert another picture. Click there, and then insert picture. This time around I want to see something. Let's select downloads, and then in downloads let's select another. Can have different, then click insert. So there we are, have this nice little baby, and this little baby you can actually change. I can tell this picture, the story might be around there. Okay, so you can crop. Let's use the crop tool first, and we can crop off, we don't need that. Okay, oops. Alright, so can crop around there using the corners, and there we are. So that way it has enabled us to crop what we need to crop off, and then remain with the part that we need in our image, in our vicinity. Right, so I'm selecting the picture again. You can double click at it to activate all properties that are related to this picture. Then we can have the adjustments of this picture. How would you want to appear? how much light do you want. So the brightness, you click at the brightness, but make sure that the picture is selected first. Then go on moving your cursor. Do you want it darker? Do you want it lighter? So select the intensity of light that you need. Alternatively, we can contrast, you can change the colors. How much do you need with it to do with the colors? So just hover over until you get the correct picture intensity and the properties of to do with the contrast of the picture. Alternatively, you can actually click the picture format and the picture correction options, and then you'll be able to adjust how much brightness do you need in the picture. How much? So do you want it to be darker or that kind? Do you want the contrast to be like that or pale? So you can actually play around with that, or if you're not satisfied with your output, you can actually reset the picture so that it retains its original state, the way it was. Okay, the way it was, and actually can adjust it so that it fits on the screen. You can adjust the height so that you help it fit on the screen where you want it to be. You can change the color or recolor it. Okay, can change it to that color, gray. Okay, can change it to bluish, can change it to reddish. It depends how you want the colors to be in your picture. It's possible that we want something like that, or brownish. You can actually set even the transparency. So if things happen like that, you can actually work with more and more colors, right? So it doesn't matter. You can even compress picture, but they are change picture if the picture that you're using at a time is not telling the story that you need. You can actually change it. Let's change picture. Let's first select it, and then you select the picture that you want to change it with, possibly start picture, and click insert. And instead of having the picture that has, it will actually have a different picture layout that you need to use in your story. Same thing happens with pictures. You can cut, you can delete, you can copy. So let's select the picture, let's copy it, right click and select copy, and then insert the picture where I want it to be. There, press enter, then you can actually paste it at that point. Alright, so you realize that it duplicates, it's just a duplicate. Copy, right click, select copy, go to the next, and then paste it there. Okay, you realize that it just copies the original and then presses it onto another point. So you can actually copy using a shortcut key combination, Ctrl C and then Ctrl V, Ctrl V. Okay, more and more pictures will get added to your point, so you can actually reposition them according to what you need. You can reposition these pictures according to what you particularly you are in need. So that way you can work with pictures to do different things, or to have them in a different styles as much as possible. However, let's create a new document, Ctrl N, and then let's still work with the pictures. Okay, insert picture, then we can actually click that picture, possibly that, and it is inserted into your document. And this picture you can actually crop out. Okay, let's crop out, but let's copy it. Copy, and we paste a copy of the original. Let's crop out simple positioning. We shall need the right, and then we shall click and hold, and we need this, and then click and hold. We need only that guy when he's standing under sides, and then select this one too, There we shall possibly need, when it's facing us, something like that. Select it, and then we crop. Shall need this other guy. Alright, suppose we wanted to animate or create a 3D. These are the positions that we possibly need when he's standing like that, and then when he's facing us. So there you can actually work with different properties. You can this picture, you can actually, you realize that now I cannot easily move this picture around. Okay, all I can do is to drag and drop it on a different, drag this one and drop it, but I cannot easily move it. I cannot rotation. I can rotate it, because on top there we have the rotation tool. When you move your mouse over and the rotation tool, realize that it brings an arrow, rotating arrow. Click and hold, and then move your cursor so that you can rotate your image. Okay, but sometimes we might need to press this image on top of the another image. How do you do that? All you need to do is to create a layer where this picture can be inserted. So all I need to do is to click at the insert, and then I need to create a shape. Then in the shape, select the text box. Draw the text box, and then put the image in the text box. Once you put the image in the text box, you will be able to rotate it. You can be able to move it and position it in different areas in your document. This time the picture is inside the text box, so it will allow me to grab the text box itself to move around the picture. So all I need to do is get this text box and I put it on top of another picture, so that I get the layout of the picture that is behind. However, you can actually reset the light intensity and the opacity of the picture. So let's first get rid of the white background. So double click double click at the text box that you've just added, and once you double click, you'll have the functions that are supposed to help you to format the text box. So we are in need of the shape outline. The shape outline, this is the outermost, is what we call an outline. So select that and select no outline, so that the outline disappears, and then we also select the shape fill. The shape fill is going to give us the background. So if you need the shape fill color to be blue, you realize that it will be lying in the blue background. So we want to take off that blue so that we just have something transparent. Okay, so no color for the shape, and then no color for the border, so that once you put it there, you actually see where the picture starts and ends. So in the picture, we want to reset its opacity. So double click at the picture, and then in there you need to set or to reset its opacity. So let's recolor, and then select set transparency. So when we set transparency, the system will help us to reset the transparency. When you click, it will automatically get the transparency done. The picture will become transparent. Okay, so that is it for the pictures. I would wish you to play around with these pictures and get to know how to operate with these pictures, how to move pictures around, how to rotate them, how to adjust their colors, how to resize them, how to put their text to wrap around the pictures. That way you'll be able to easily maneuver through any document. You can actually create any document using Microsoft Word. Let's now look at how to use word art. Word art. What I've used with the pictures, you can actually use for clip art. for clip art, let us look for people, possibly, and then you click go. So the system will look for people, and where you need the clip art, please get it and position it there. So you just need to position your cursor where you need the text to be. Okay, suppose I need it there. All I need to do is to double click. First position your cursor where you want it to be, and then double click. The picture will get added there. However, like I said, it needs to be in line with what you have written about. You don't have to insert any pictures that you would wish to insert when they are out or off the topic. It is always better to read the topic and then insert a picture that is in line with what you have written about. Same properties can be added to these clip arts. So you can double click at the clip art, and every property that works with pictures will be equally added to the clip art. Okay, so we have learned how to use this, and then can also use the effects, picture effects. Okay, can put picture effects. What effect do you need? Okay, so these are effects. All these are effects. You can play around with them, and then you can actually use them in your document. Alternatively, you can actually even change the shape of the picture. Which shape would you love to take? An arrow? Do you want the picture to appear like an arrow? Do you want it to appear like a rectangle or a circle? Right? So you select the picture, then you can select that. So you realize this is an arrow, but it appears it's an arrow with an image inside. So you can have that. You can have that. Okay, it is an effect that is added to your picture. Find some time and look around how these arrows are done, how the effects are done, and you will find use of pictures really nice to use. With that, allow me look at a different thing. Same issue when it comes to shapes. Today now I want to look at how do we use shapes. I'm creating a new document, and we want to learn how to use the shapes. Still, the shapes, you find them in the insert tab and then select shapes. So select your shape and then select the shape that you want to use. We are going to start with the simplest shapes, a combination of a shape, and you realize that you build something from a shape. So click at the shapes, select the shape that you want to click at or to use. You realize that this shape will automatically give you a plus, a cursor will be a plus sign. This means that you can actually draw the shape on your document window. You click and hold the left mouse button and then move the mouse to draw the shape, then release it. So the first shape is drawn. You can actually move the shape around. You can resize it according to what we have learned using pictures. You can actually even rotate the shape. You can rotate the shape to that angle. Okay. So now I want the shape to be at that angle. You can add more and more shapes. Click insert and then select shapes. Let's click still the oval. Then you can actually do that. Click the shape to have that color. Okay. And then you can actually simply copy and paste. Let's learn how to utilize these functionalities the easy way. So let's right click and select copy, then we save, we paste. Okay, so when we paste, realize that we can actually create something of that sort. You can have that shape slightly off. You can have the shape slightly off, and there it is. You just need to position them. You can actually paste another shape there, and this shape we actually reduce its its size, and we create something like that, and this shape is there. We want to look at something, so we're going to color this blue, going to give it a different color. So double click at the shape and you'll have different properties of that shape when you double click at it. Let's look at the shape fill. So for the shape fill, you select any color of your choice. Alternatively, you can actually even go for the textures and the gradients. And so let's select which gradient we need. Let's select possibly that or that. Okay, so we shall select this. Alright, and which colors shall we need to use? The fill colors. We shall possibly need to use, you can use that fill color or that, right? But let's keep it simple. Let's use just black, and then the shape that is hiding behind, we change its color, fill color, we change it to black. Okay, and then you can actually position them according to what you want the shape to appear like. Sometimes these shapes are not in proper order according to what we need to use. For example, if you need to add more and more text, so it's possible that you can have layers that are covering other layers. For example, all you need to do is to select the picture, right click at it, and then go for the order. Where do you want it? Do you want it to be at the back? Do you want it to be at the front, or send backwards? So let it be at the front, send to front. So it is possible that you can have something like that. So it's better right click at it and then select order, then send it to back. Okay, so it's really at the back, the extreme back. So this layer is covering it. So let us select this layer and we send it to back. So that at least this outermost layer is the one at the extreme back, and then we have this one appearing, and then on top of it we have another one on top of that, and then have the other. So let us group them so that we select them as one object. So the first one is clicked. Press the shift key or the control key. Press the control key and then click the second one, and then go and select the first one. Then let us right click. Grouping helps you to select everything as one object. So select grouping and then you group them. Alright, so it's now one object. When I select, I simply move one complete object. Doesn't give me that much hardship. So I need now to select or to control and copy it. Control C or simply copy, and then I simply paste it. So position it where you want it to be, and the eyes are created. Okay, the eyes are created. Then you can actually add more shapes. Insert, and then we select the shapes. Which kind of shape do you need? Let's select the curve. Okay, so I click that and then I curve it like that. Oh, the guy smiles. Right, so if you're done with your curve, you simply double click and the curve is done. I repeat, delete it off. I click insert shapes. I need to select the curve. So select where you want the curve to start from, draw until where you want it to start bending, then release and okay, I've done a mistake. Okay, so all I need to do is select shapes and then select curves. Select where you want it to start from, then release and move the mouse. Just move the mouse. Okay, if at all you need to create a curve, you just need to click and release, then move the mouse. I repeat once more. Insert shapes, curve, click and hold, then move, reach a point where you need the curve to start from, then release the mouse and simply move the mouse. Okay, just move the mouse. Or you want to make him gloomy. Guy is sad and he smiles off. Okay, alright, so you says wow and then wow. Okay, there we are. So you just need to move your cursor to the point where the curve one you want the curve to stop from, and then you double click to end the curve. Okay, so there you'll be able to operate with your curve. Still you can make it bend. Guys become sad and you want him to smile. You actually need to do that, and the guy smiles off. That way you can actually even change the weights of those curves. All you need to do is to click at the shape outline and then select which shape outline. Oh, if the guy smiles, this smile is really nice. Alright, and then you can actually even put eyebrows and can use different shapes. Okay, let's put some nose there, and click and hold and have the nose, and then possibly nose just like that. There we are. Alright, let's put some colors on the head. So double click the head, then you need to go for the shape fill. Okay, shape fill, and then select which colors. Okay, so we shall possibly select this color. If you need more gradients, you can check out for that, but let's select the one that has the bottom darker. Okay, and then we can actually change the pattern. Can change the pattern. Okay, when you change the pattern, you have access to gradients. How much, which colors would you love to use? Is it one color or two colors? Okay, so you can possibly say one color. I want to use a little brown. It's possibly the guy is an African, and I will say okay, I need to click at OK, and the guy is there smiling all the way. So that is the way we utilize these. You can even put ears for him. Okay, ears there. Oh, that's alright. The ear is there, so we don't want this ear to go out so much, so you need to push the ear off to the back. Right click at it and then select order, send to back, so that the ear is pushed at the extreme point. Okay, so that way you can do a lot all using these shapes. You can actually do quite a lot using the shapes that we can have there. Let's see, once we can possibly have that, and you can actually say okay, this guy is possibly Al-Hajj, and then put intervals on his head, and then there he is. Or alternatively, he's working in bakery, and can also reduce that to the size of his head and make him put on that cap really nicely. Okay, there we are. Push it using the arrow keys on top, and the guy is smartly dressed, ready for possibly the Friday prayers. And actually there we are moving using the arrow keys, so that we don't miss out on anything. Can put anything of your choice. You can draw anything of your choice using shapes on your screen. So you can actually ungroup. You right click and select group, and you ungroup. Right click, select group, and select ungroup. So you can actually group anything. You can move the eyes along. Okay. I'm using the arrow keys and make the eyes look down, and oh, they look up. It's maybe thinking of something. Alright, so that way it enables us to create different shapes. And okay, and we make him look at you. Alright, with a smiling face. The guy is a jolly friend. So all you need to do is to ensure that you have the proper layout and the proper design that you need to use and the shapes that you need to use, and you'll have them combined together to ensure that you have the proper document that you need. Otherwise, shape, select everything, press the shift key, select the head, select the smile, select the first eye, and then select the orbit, and then select the outermost, the eye, the orbit, and then the outermost, and then also select the make sure that the control key is selected, is pressed. Don't release it, and select everything that you need to be grouped as one. Then right click at it and then select group, and then select group again. So now it is one complete figure, one complete shape. You can actually even resize it. Okay, you can resize it to a smaller size. It is now treated as one shape. Okay, you can move it anywhere, and you can actually have any documentation using this. Right, so it depends on what you want to create. So select insert, and then this time let us learn how to use the word art. Word art gives you different designs that you can work with. So let's create a nice looking word art, then click that. Okay, so once you click at the word art, the preferred word art that you need to use, okay, word art, and then select the preferred word art. Then the text that you need to appear on your document is what you type under text. You can write and say chemcut foods. Okay, and then which font would you love to use? You select the font that you would love to use. Okay, maybe that, and it will give you the chemcuts, and then simply click at the font size. It's there. You can make it bold, you can make it italics, you can remove the bold, you can remove the italics, you can make the text appear big. Okay, chemcut foods, and then select OK. So once you select OK, you'll realize that the chemcut foods will come in a shape that you selected. Position what you need to be chemcut foods. Okay, then can possibly increase that chemcut foods. You can actually even double click at it. It gives you, suppose I want to change from this bent thing to something like that. Okay, so you just double click at it, and then you will be able to get the formattings, that different formattings that you need to use. So you can have that, you can have that, you can even have more. Just drop it down and position, have different positions that you love this text to have. Okay, so there we are. So for now I'm just interested in that, and you need to know where you need to. You can even adjust the bending, the sizes. Okay, depends what you want to do at a time. That's what you need to do. Alright, you can even change the shape. Okay, you can change the shape to something better, possibly. Okay, these are all shapes that you can change it to. Right, Alright, so that is that for clip art, and you can actually do some other documentation, okay, like that, and then you can add more shapes. This is for shapes, and then you can add shapes there. You can have the first shape there on top, and then give the shape different colors, and have different colors there. Alternatively, just make it to have a fill shape color, possibly the color that we have used before, that color, and then we can add text onto these colors. So all I need to do is to insert shape, and I need to select the text box. So on the text box, I'm drawing the text box onto the colors that I've inserted. So I want the text to be on top. So I'll select the foods that we need to produce. We have matoke or bananas, banana. We have posho. We have possibly rice. We can even have Irish. We can have can have corn, or can have yams. Okay, so suppose that was our menu. You can make it highlight it and make sure that you go back to the home tab and then select bullets. Okay, so it makes it to be bulleted, and you can actually even change the font size. Okay, the font size to be 28. You can change the font faces. Maybe matoke, bananas. We'll go for, you press the tab key. Alternatively, you press that. Okay, or put it out. So you can use any, and possibly need to say, okay, that will, you put spaces, and matoke, it will be like 1500. Then posho, space, you create some spaces there, and have like for that, for 5. Okay, create something like a menu. Okay, doesn't matter how much you put in. Right, and then Irish will go for 10,000. Okay, so I need to delete off some space so that it fits what where I need it to be. So something like that, and then possibly you delete out, you take off the background, for the white background, double click at the shape, and then I want the background. When double clicking there, the background, we want no background, no fill, and the text, select everything so that you go back to the home tab. Remember, the home tab has the formatting, so select the home tab and then select white so that it contrasts well with your background. Then this color, you can actually double click at it to have more and more colors of your choice. Okay, you can have more colors that suit your needs. Depends what you want to actually create. That's what you create, and then select it. Then you reposition it where you want it to be. I'm using the arrow keys. Then after that, make sure that you're satisfied with the layout, and you can be able to save and print out your document. Save, click File, Save As. Then possibly you locate where you want to save your document, possibly on the desktop, and then give it a name, Kim Foods. Okay, and then select save. So even if power blacks out, now I'm sure that I have saved my work. Okay, I'll be sure that I've saved my work, and Kim Foods is there. All I need to do is to right click, possibly, or simply double click, and it will open up with Kim Foods. I would love to encourage you to stay safe, and please put on your mask and wash your fingers. Keep the social distancing. Always put on the mask the right way. Don't let that corona get you. We shall be safe. This ends this chapter for editing using Microsoft Word 2007. See you then.